Here, come on, Dad. Dad, desperate to be in. My dad, actually, since you last seen him, he's had a touch of the Benjamin Buttons about him, and he's become a little bit younger. Come on in, Dad. How are you?
Oh,
where's your back?
It's playing up a little bit today.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's all them washing machines you're putting in for
Oh.
me. Can you do my chain?
Of course I can.
Thanks, Kick. He just, yeah, that's brilliant, mate. Well done. You should do this for a living. Why you're wasted as an electrician, aren't you?
Shocking.
That was good.
Currently, I'm homeless.
An homeless electrician. Get on there, kid. Get on. Look at the aim. No wonder you work with electrical things you can't see.
Look.
You ain't That'll do, mate. There you go. Thank you. Thank you. You just made it. Oh, thanks very much. I'll get you a tea on in a bit. Hey, you just yeah. Don't do any more heavy lifting today.
It's been a pleasure having me here.
If you need me to lift anything, go somewhere else.
Okay. Thanks, Dad. Thanks.
Just noticed I haven't put the case on. Hang on. Just wait there. So, it's been a while with Giant, 16 years. It was my World Cup race team, my factory team, the only real factory team I rode for. I had my entire professional World Cup career with them. So when they got on the phone and asked me to come back, it was like amazing. You know, quite an emotional, nostalgic kind of decision actually. And it was, yeah, amazing. So I'm back with Giant. I'm factory again. Don't like to mention I won a World Cup for them. Anyway, moving on. This is my first bike I've got from them. It's the Rainy. There was no Rainy in the lineup 15, 16 years ago. Thankfully, they bolted an engine onto one. And I absolutely love it. It's a big travel enduro bike. Big range on it as well. So it can go anywhere. You can be out on it all day. 160mm rear wheel travel. It's a mullet, 27.5 at the back, 29 up front. A 180 Ohlins fork I've got in there. You know, the geometry of bikes has changed so much in recent years that how long they've become. They've become low and long, but they're so much better to ride for it because they don't feel big like this. You know, on high speed stuff, it feels lovely, and completely sort of like solid and stable. But then I anchored up into some real tight, like, and the change of direction on it, like, is so quick on it as well. They don't feel long, you know, when you get them in the tight stuff. So, yeah, it's a beautifully balanced bike. I absolutely love it. So at the heart of this bike, of course, is the Giant Sync Drive motor. It's a 625 watt battery in here as well. The motor has impressed me immensely. It's really powerful. Like, there ain't nothing this engine won't take you up. Probably on top of that though, the most surprising thing to me and the biggest positive perhaps is the efficiency. Like, I reckon I get 20% more out of this 625 watt battery than I do other manufacturers' ones I've used. So it's amazing in that respect, you know, a lot less battery anxiety. And also I've got, this is the E Plus one comes with a 625 battery. The E Plus Zero comes with a 750 watt battery. So again, more options in the mountains. You can go all day on that. And Giant also do a little bottle battery as well that goes on there, and I guess the wire's going there or something, I don't know. But that gives you another 250 watts. So I can load this bike up to have 1,000 watt hours of power. And that, I mean, even on a GR5 route or something, that's going to be a game changer. I'm going to be able to go all day on that. The motor itself, I love the fact that how minimalist it is on the bars. There's no display or anything. You can do it all on your phone afterwards. You've got all your power assist modes on the bars. That's all you need, in my opinion. And you can see it on the on this display here, on the battery, on the power button. It just shows you how much assist you got. You'll see this blue light there in the middle. That means you're in auto mode. That kind of works out how you ride it. And I have ridden in it, and it's nice. Like, when you pedal hard, you get a big assist from the motor. You know, it's like auto mountain biking. A lot of things, other things I like about it is to get the battery in and out. It's just one there. Take this case off, and then here, actually, on this side of the bike, you just get a hex key in there, and you turn it, and you tighten the battery in, right? And it's like 5 turns. Takes a second, but it's amazing, because the battery in there is so secure. When I went back to Giant, I also went back to some of my old sponsors I had when I was on Giant. some of the sponsors that I might or may not have won a World Cup with. Michelin tyres. Amazing to be back on Michelin. They're back really back in the game now. They have been a little while. I've been running these a lot softer actually. There's only about £22 in that front tyre, and I noticed that seeped it a bit yesterday. But riding it felt perfect. It felt better. I'm not in bike parks at the moment. I'm bombing around the Chilterns where I live, so I don't need those higher pressures. But the sidewalls obviously it gives so much feel. It's nice. It's a Michelin. The grip is completely, as I like it, like very predictable. You can slide, it'll push and push, but you won't just break traction, So, yeah, I'm really loving the Michelins. And of course, they're e-bike specific and they do look bling as with that massive Michelin logo on there. Something else massive for me this year was for the first time ever in my life, I'm using carbon rims. Envy carbon rims, the daddy of all the carbon rims. Like it doesn't get any more bling than this. I've heard people say they're faster, and I was like, yeah, whatever. They are. They are actually faster. Like I still haven't been to a park, but when you pump in a turn, people say you just pick up speed out of turns on them. Probably why all the World Cup races are on. Of course, they're incredibly strong as well. But I noticed round here, and I haven't been in berms and stuff like that yet, and I need to get to a park, but you just roll faster. Like literally, the thing just picks up speed. I don't even know if it's the wheels, if it's in my head or what, but they're just mad. And when you do push into them, like pump something, you go forwards fast, and that almost feels noticeable, as hard as it sounds to believe, but they're really impressive. And I know I've got a set of wheels on my bike there, because I smash wheels on e-bikes. I'm 16 stone. I don't know what the weight of the bike is, but they're heavy. And I'm rattling down like the adventure rides I like to do in the mountains and that. It's rocky and I waste wheels. I smash wheels. So this is going to be the end of that. These are going to be amazing. I can't wait to really get out there and put them to the test. Holding the wheel in place, of course, is the Ohlins fork. 180mm. Now this fork, right, I'm going to own up here. I put my order in a bit late with them for this year's bike. I was like, oh, there's a bike coming, I need some forks. This is a 2-year-old fork, a 180/38. That's the first 38 fork I had, right? I've never checked the pressure in it. I've never had it serviced. It's only ever been on my other bike and then straight into this bike. And until I put it in this bike, I'd never even changed the air pressure in it because I never even checked it. They were perfect. They don't leak. They don't seep. I set them up as Alex from Ohlins told me to with the pressures, and I haven't really looked back. Someone said though, you're going to say that and everyone's going to go, yeah, you never ride. That's not true. I mean, I have a bit of a busy summer sometimes, but that bike, those forks have done the GR5, and I ride probably 4 or 5 times a week on the e-bikes. I love them. They're easy. You're not knackered afterwards. So moving on then, Hope was another sponsor I went back to after literally about 15, 16 years. Let's start with the handlebars. Something else I've never run in my life is carbon handlebars. Why? Because I heard they snap all the time. And you do hear of people snapping their carbon bars. On the flip side of that, the only handlebars that I've ever broke were aluminium, metal. So it does happen. But I did sign up with Hope. And then I went on the website to pick what I wanted, and I noticed they only had carbon handlebars, and I was like, whoa, oh shit, what have I done? And then I spoke to Woody, who works there, and then I went to see him, and he was like, we've never ever had a set of carbon handlebars snap. We've never had a pair back broke. So, I mean, the proof's in the pudding there, so I couldn't really argue with that. And then he could see I was still pretty nervous, so he took me around the back and showed me the very first prototype set of bars. I don't know how long I Hope I've been doing these bars, but a good few years now. And they're not even buffed up, they're not polished, they're not finished, they're just a prototype, and they still run them, and it's still the bike that Woody goes out riding on in his lunch hour with these, 5, 6, whatever they are, year-old bars in, that do look a bit beat, but they're still strong. So, all good for me. I'm running them, I love them. I've gone from a 50mm stem to a 35mm stem. I might have been a bit out of touch with what was going on. And these bikes, like I say, are really long. I'm really tall. I do sit a little bit further back on the seat, but when I'm stood up and for riding it, I'm preferring a 35. It's taken me a little while to get used to it. 15mm less than stems I'm used to. Yeah, I much prefer it. And then finally, from Hope, are these cranks, right? Now, e-bike specific cranks, I nearly fell over when they said, yeah, we stated some cranks on. I looked at them and I thought, they look a bit short. And I was like, what are they then? 160, 165s? 155s. 155s. Apparently everyone's run them. At which point I pretended I knew that, and I was like, yeah, they're good. Something else that I'm absolutely loving, and to me probably the most important component on a bicycle, the brakes, right? This is the new V4. Is that what it's called? Version 4, correct. They're actually they are the Tech 4. Yeah, as I knew it. And with other brakes manufacturers, I cannot get the brake lever where I want it. They never go out far enough away from the bar. So I end up overfilling the system or putting another, brake pad plate in, like with the face off it behind the other pads. I've run 3 pads in or 3 metal plates in brakes to try and get the levers out a bit. And it all works for a bit, but it doesn't ever work that well. These, look where that braking point is, man. Look where that braking point is. Look, I mean, look at it. It is, I'm squeezing back here normally, and there is more on that. There is more on that. You've got these two, just look, I can wind them out more. I'm not even anywhere near the max on them. Yeah, and so they've been life-changing, these brakes have. I love them. And the power they produce is phenomenal, like the most powerful brake I've ever used, and the feel on these brakes is insane. Hope Pro 4 hubs at the moment. That is factory, isn't it? Eh? Isn't it weird? When I was actually factory, I wasn't that factory, I was just at work, but now I've retired, I'm full fucking factory. Sick. Ohlins shock on the back, Trunion fitting on these Giants. Again, for me, totally fit and forget. I might try a slightly softer spring on there. I don't know. I might go down 1 spring rate on it and see if I can just get a bit more into the travel. But it feels like it ramps up quite a lot, the back end on this. But yeah, the Ohlins shock. I mean, if you watched any of my other videos, I went to coil on the mountain bikes, coil over shocks. The air shocks just tended. I found like sometimes you could just blow through the travel. Like, I don't know, like the weight of me and the bike, it didn't feel good. With the coil, no problem. It feels amazing. The weight ain't an issue. You sit up on the travel. I love it for all riding. Another amazing piece of British engineering, the Pembree Pro pedal, which is a D2A, but Phil makes us these up for his pro riders to try. Like, it can almost be prototype. And this is a new one that he is experimenting with a different bush in it. So, which you can see, like, it just creates. You can't feel it when you ride it one bit. And again, I'm telling you, this is a prototype. This is for us to try it. I can't tell it. I don't dislike it one bit. Would that drag relate to on a normal bike? Slowing you down? I don't know. It doesn't matter on an e-bike. Thomas Lemoyne, my Pembree teammate, absolutely loves the fact these pedals don't spin because they wrap bloody inner tubes around the cranks and everything to stop the pedals spinning, the slopestyle riders, so they know where they are when they land. So for him, they're amazing, and Phil may have inadvertently created a perfect slopestyle pedal. I just love them because they're black, they're grippy, they fit like a glove for your foot. Yeah, they're amazing. So that is my Giant Rain E+1. She's full factory, love it. I'm still actually, I'm in that lovely period at the start of getting a new bike when you're like pissing about with suspension, tyre pressures, finding out about the motor. But yeah, I'm absolutely loving it. It's mint. And that only leaves me to say, like or subscribe. Oh, and we've got a phone call to make. I'll check this out. Let's see if we can get this bloke on the phone. Hello, Jay.
How you doing? All right?
All right, mate. How are you?
Yeah.
2 years. What have you?
It's been a while, hasn't it?
It's been a while. It's been 2 years. What? How is the state of my World Cup winning bike?